Hey everybody, in this video we're going to do a quick review of two products from Games Workshop. The first is the Games Workshop drybrush brush, and then the Games Workshop Citadel dry compounds. So I have used both extensively, primarily on my space walls. And I have to say that I was using cheap brushes for my dry brushing, specifically this one. Was used a lot for dry brushing some of my space walls. And it was just a cheap, like 50 cent, 75 cent synthetic brush. But the results were okay. So I wanted to try something that was more designed specifically for dry brushing. So I went out and spent the extra few bucks on a Citadel small dry brush. I have to say the results I got on this I liked a lot more than the results I got from this one. I don't know if it's just because this one was flat and this one's round, so I do need to go back and check it out with a cheap round brush. Which I happen to have one here, which I will use eventually. So the other thing I had a question was if the dry brush that I spent more money on was going to last any longer than the cheap brushes, because they get trashed pretty easily. This is another one I've used on my Space Wolves, and it's completely trashed already. It's bent over, bristles are broken, it's just, and bent out. It's just, dry brushing is very hard on brushes, just in general. So that's why I was buying the cheap brushes. But unfortunately, the answer to that is no. The tip here is bent. It lost a lot of bristles. So it's a lot harder to use now than it was before. So I don't know if this is synthetic. I thought it was going to be like camel hair or something. But I think it is synthetic. And the results of the brush still work great. You just got to be more careful with it, with the bent tip. And however, I was really disappointed in the overall longevity of the $5 dry brush compared to, which really wasn't even any better than the super cheap 75 cent synthetic brush. So the dry brushes probably aren't worth the investment. Just keep, if you are going to do dry brushing, just stick with the super cheap brushes, and when they get trashed, just throw them out. The other side of that is the dry compounds, and those are completely different. The dry compounds are astounding. I absolutely love them. This is the Necron compound. This is Golden Griffin, which I used to highlight the gold on my Space Wolves, and using the base of the Alart gold and then a sepia wash, and then use this stuff on top, and the results are just fantastic. Even on the Chest Eagle on a Space Marine, I was able to get the dry compound just on the highest edges. It's fantastic. This stuff is so easy to work with. It is almost like a paste, which is very interesting. I'm going to use this brush here. So right here is I'm going to do some more highlighting here on the grid work here. I don't know how well you're going to be able to see it, but get some on the brush here. Just clean it off real good. Like a paste, but still a paint. It's kind of weird. And you can actually very easily wipe off all of it on the paper towel, at least off this dry brush. And so give a nice little highlight to the grid. Unfortunately, I don't think I'm going to be able to see too much of that. But just this is Bulka washed with Agrath Earth Shade and then highlighted with the dry compound, and it's fantastic. There's no doubt about that. The dry compounds themselves, if you use them right and use them like you're supposed to, kind of like it for highlighting, these things are great. I'm probably going to end up buying more of them in the future. There's a lot of colors to choose from. But yeah, I really like the dry compound, the dry paints from Citadel for when you're doing dry brushing. Of course, it might be good for terrain. It doesn't take a whole lot, so it's just really good stuff. On the dry brushes, not so much. The dry paints, amazing stuff. So that's just my real quick review and opinion of the Citadel dry brushing stuff. Any questions, please let me know. Any comments, leave them before. And as always, feel free to rate and subscribe if you wish. Thanks for watching.